Are we rolling now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hannah, do you want to?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just checking my image.
Okay.
Checking my hat is on because I didn't wash my hair. So.
Okay. We're actually, we've started. So this is the first episode, ladies and gentlemen, of And That's Why We're Not Together. My name is David McSavage, and this is my beautiful ex-wife, Hannah Andrews.
Hello.
And my
should I maybe be Hannah Gnad?
No. Oh, Jesus. Well, what's the name in your passport?
Andrews. It's your surname.
Yeah. And,
okay.
and as Hannah's from Poland, and your birth surname is what?
Gnad.
And what does Gnad mean?
Bone. I used to.
By the way,
I used to think that I'm more sophisticated, and I call myself Hannah de Gnaton.
What you mean, Hannah de Bone?
The bone. Yeah.
Jesus. But like in Poland, would people slag you off with your Bone? How are you, Bone? Like in Dublin, if you had a name like Bone, it'd be like, "Come on, you fucking Bone, Boney, yeah, Boney M or whatever."
Yeah.
They did. What did they say?
Well, they say Gnacie co robisz. They called me by surname.
I wonder what percentage of our audience actually speak Polish. Good question. And also we have on the technical side of things in the boiler room, our two sons. We have Jack Andrews and Daniel Andrews, and also helping us start off the podcast, we have Julius Klopping. And Julius is, videographer, a director of the future. How's it going, lads? What do you think about this idea of our podcast? Jack, do you want to jump in there?
I'm quite looking forward to it, but also not looking forward to it because I think all our fears will come to the surface, and our family secrets of dysfunction will be on display to everyone in the world. So that's good and bad. Depends how you look at it.
Oh, do you mean? Well, dysfunction.
But I think that everybody knows that we dysfunctional.
Well, no, I mean people aren't that what about us?
Oh no, like each family is dysfunctional.
Yeah,
in a certain degree.
Every family is dysfunctional. Like, what is the perfect family? Can you think of one, Daniel, Jack? Do you ever look? Do you ever look at a family and think, that's a terrible thing to ask your sons, Hannah?
Maybe the Osbournes.
Yeah, we should all model ourselves on Osbourne.
What about Julius? Julius, what's your family like? Do you have a mom and dad and two sisters, a brother, or what's going on?
I've got a brother, but pretty much a good family.
Yeah.
Oh,
fuck you.
Well, if you want a normal family, move to Germany, but it's gonna be boring.
Jesus Christ! I'm so sorry, Julius. Okay, well, so the podcast, we've given it the title, as Hannah and I have said. So this is the first episode. I just want to say, this is the first ever podcast, right? Big deal for me. And I've been buying all the equipment. I've got the A10 Mini Pro. I've got the Rodecaster. I've got the fucking lights and everything and the cameras for... Daniel was the only person who got here on time. Daniel, a round of applause for Daniel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then Hannah rolled in about like a half an hour later.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's the excuse? Thank you.
I don't know if I can say it.
Can we talk about the fact that you told me you had some bad news?
I'm not sure. Yeah, we can talk. Yeah. So, but I just think it's very raw and personal, and
because it just happened.
It just happened.
Well, people will be. Well, look. When a member of Hannah's Polish family died, committed suicide.
Yeah.
Did you know him?
Oh yeah. We spent all our childhood together.
So how old was he?
So he's 59.
Jesus, that's shocking. Actually, at that age, was there mental health?
Well, I think he always was sensitive. He's oversensitive. A musician, unfulfilled musician, taxi driver who always play accordion. Really good.
Yeah.
A bit crazy.
Kids?
Yeah, 3 kids.
How old are the children?
Oh, they took Jack and Daniel age a bit older.
Sorry, I'm just Jack's just finding this out now, right?
No, he knows.
When did you find out?
Just before we left.
So did you know this guy Daniel?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did know him. Yeah, he once invited me to go with him, like tour across like certain, I don't know, in Belgium or so. I don't know where he's. Remember?
did you go?
No, I didn't go. No,
What,
but
you
I
don't know? Did he go? Why you
No.
knew if he went
I don't know.
to
Maybe,
fucking Belgium with someone?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe he went for a few days and I didn't know. I don't know. Things could have happened, but we spent our summers together.
And how is he related to you?
Oh, he's my cousin. He's my so he's my
So
auntie.
so his mother's your mother's sister.
So his dad is my mother's brother.
His dad is my mother's brother.
So he's my cousin, first cousin.
Right. Sorry, I'm just guys. What's happening over there? Because I can hear you talking on camera. We're
Yeah.
talking about suicide here, and you guys are like you disconnecting from our.
Boring.
Jesus Christ, Daniel, Jack.
No.
What's happening? What are we
No,
having
we're good,
technical?
we're good.
We having technical issues. Sorry.
Okay.
Is everything okay, Julius? What's happening?
You just had to change the setting then.
Oh, right. So sorry. So this guy's 59, and do they know like what? Do they know anything?
All the details. How did he do it? He just hung himself in the garage in his own house, and he was found because he lived on his own, found by the neighbors. So there's a big tragedy.
So his kids weren't living with him.
No, they like 23, 7, and 30 something.
And was he separated from his wife?
Oh yeah, a long time ago. And then he had a girlfriend, and they seemed to be happy, and they separated. So like
Did he drink?
yeah, I
Was
think
he
so.
a
A
heavy
little
drink?
bit.
Yeah.
No, not a heavy drinker. He was a taxi driver. Apart from playing accordion and being crazy about country music.
God, that's sad. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, December the 8th, yesterday. Speaking of death. It's such a clumsy segue. And speaking of death and life ending, well, December the 8th, 1980 was when John Lennon was murdered.
All right.
Do you remember that?
Sort of. I remember the news, definitely.
Well, guys, I'm sorry. Like, did you meet him a lot, Daniel? Did you know him?
Yeah, I met him a few times. Yeah.
What was his name again?
Zbyszek.
What would the
Zibby.
Zibby.
and was he a good laugh?
Yeah, he was.
We spent quite a bit of time.
Microphone, Jack. Get on the microphone.
We spent quite a bit of time with Zbyszek, did we?
Zibby.
Or Zibi. Yeah, there was one time where he picked us up in his taxi, and he was just blaring like Polish country music so loud in the car, and me and Daniel were laughing away, and Hannah was trying to shout at him, turn down the music, but he was great fun all the time, like always made you laugh and everything. So
I wonder what's Polish country and Western music.
Yeah. I mean, probably a lot of international songs.
Try and look up on your phone some Polish country and Western music, and then we'll drop it in when I'm editing this. You just do it anyway. Okay, just find it there, Daniel. I'll have to figure out a way of talking to you and not be distracted when Jack and Daniel are, because I've got serious AD fucking.
Maybe you
issues.
should sit here. Maybe you should sit. Maybe
I can hear.
it doesn't matter.
No, I can hear Ruby meowing. Will you let Ruby in?
But
This is the other thing. Do you know what I mean? We're in the first podcast, and Ruby, a cat is outside.
But I
meow.
think you should sit here.
Yeah, but okay, but now don't move the. I know. Okay.
So
okay. Yes. Yeah.
So you won't see them.
Okay. So can I just say also, Jack was arrived the latest for the podcast. Strolled in maybe 40 minutes after the time you saw us. Can you give us why were you so late?
well, I was gonna come by myself and be 20 minutes early, but then Hannah offered to give me a lift, and I had to drop my phone off at the at the shop because I broke it because I recently fell on my bike.
Oh yes. So
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So yesterday apparently, or the day before yesterday, because Jack is working for fucking Deliveroo language.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway,
What is
doesn't matter.
Deliveroo? Is it, Hannah?
It's something like that. Anyway.
Daniel.
Something different.
Yeah, it's a delivery thing. Anyway.
Why can't you say the name?
It doesn't matter. It's a shoppa.
Okay, but you know what I mean. These young kids, Hannah, they're very relaxed about how dangerous the stuff they do is. You know what I mean? It's all with Jack. It's all like, it'll be grand, and he's zooming off in the middle of the night, and it's raining on these e-bikes and big fat tires. They don't have much grip, and then of course, you call me up. Oh my God, Jack! Almost. You know what I mean? What happened?
He just.
And then you're laughing. Telling me what happened.
Yeah, because I always laugh when something tragical happens. That's my defense mechanism. I laugh.
So Jack was going round
a
corner.
nervous laughter.
So Jack was going whizzing round a corner.
Well, I don't know what really happened. I know he knows what happened,
And
but I know that
do you have cuts and bruises, Jack?
Cuts and bruises, and the phone is wrecked. Forget about cuts and bruises. The phone is wrecked.
Jesus Christ, I can't handle it. Jack, can you be careful when you're cycling?
Well, that's a theological question because
it's all funny.
Are we here? Like, is it us, or is fate real, or are we the masters of our own design? So.
What school did he go to?
St. Conrad's. Hey,
I
listen,
met.
Look at the cat. Like, she has no shame. She's just actually cleaning her ass in front of everyone.
Cleaning your anus.
Yeah.
Come on. I met Al Porter's partner, who apparently went to St. Conrad's. Al Porter was doing support for me. He's back doing gigs after all his troubles. He fucked up big time. 5 years ago? He was aware of the fact that he fucked up. He's very, very sorry, and he's been to therapy. He's been through a lot of shit, actually. Actually, he said he was, and I don't think I'm speaking out. Well, he said he was suicidal for a while. Anyway, his boyfriend went to St. Conrad's, and he said Daniel was a year ahead of him.
And did he remember Daniel running on the football pitch?
Can we mention that, Daniel? Can we mention that?
I don't know if you want. I'm not sure.
No, well, of course.
I think we should find that video. I think they're taking it down because I thought it was the funniest.
Do you have that video, Daniel?
It was on.
No, it might be floating around on Facebook or.
Well, you have to find it. And anyway, what I want to say that.
Okay, but can we just explain what it was? So, okay.
You explain.
Okay, so Daniel was going to Can you explain it? Because I'm not sure. What year was he in St. Conrad's?
It was the last year, just before his graduation.
So Daniel went to a school. Daniel and
cert.
Jack went to a school called St. Conrad's. So Daniel was how many years ahead of Jack? 6 years, right?
6. So they were never together at the same time.
So Daniel went with his school to support the rugby team, was it? Where was the rugby team playing? Whatever.
Donnybrook Stadium.
In Donnybrook, right? So Daniel streaked. Was it before the match or during the match, or what was it?
It was like before halftime.
And Daniel, why did you do it? Were you challenged?
This has gone
why
down.
did you do it? No, let's let Daniel say it. Why did you do it? Because we never knew it. And then I tell you when your principal called me and what happened. So okay.
Well, it wasn't actually my idea. Like, as far as I remember, one of the rugby guys told me to do it.
And why did you do it?
Well, because he dared me to do it. So I was like, all right, if you're gonna dare me, I'm just gonna do it. And then.
And what dare you? Like, what did?
And you purchased those little like knickers, and they were golden black.
Well, I didn't buy them.
Off.
I didn't buy them specifically for that, but I just thought.
You ruined any chances of a political career.
and then what happened? So you ran out on the pitch, right? And then did they kick you off? Did they march you off, or what?
No, I streaked the whole field, and then when I got off the side, the teachers was like, "Okay, you're in trouble. Go home." And
And did you
yeah.
go home?
Yeah, I got the train, and went home.
So then,
What do you mean? You streaked the whole pitch. Nobody ran on to get you off.
Well, I think apparently one of the rugby players was going to tackle me,
Oh,
but
right.
then they stopped. The other like people on my team, on the Collins team, stopped them from doing it.
And were you at least getting laughs or? You know?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got a cheer, a big cheer, like yeah.
they used to talk about Daniel for a few years.
So it went down on in the annals of St. Conlet's history.
That was a legendary moment. When I went into school afterwards, like everyone knew about it. And when they heard my second name was Andrews, they weren't very happy.
You mean in other words, the staff in the school thought, oh God, this is another Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the same in Blackrock College, because I was such a messer in Blackrock, but my brother was well behaved and academic.
So they
They were surprised by the difference in personalities. Of course, Blackrock College now, all those horrific revelations coming out recently about those priests who groomed and violated and abused those poor kids. I was really shocked to hear that. Well, can I just quickly say, I listened to that documentary about Blackrock College recently. Did you listen to it? Did
No.
anybody else listen to it? No.
I'm gonna watch it.
Well, the thing that I understood about grooming, like there'd be a priest there, a paedophile priest, for instance. Let's say there's 3 or 4 among the whole community of priests there. Obviously, they groom kids, and they keep their sickness to themselves, obviously, because they know it's wrong. Jesus, I'm not getting this across. Well, I'm just saying grooming. So how do they groom? They'll pick vulnerable kids and they groom them by like, okay, would you run down and do something for me? And then they'll slowly bring them in to their orbit, and they'll and then that's when the abuse starts. But for other kids that it's not happening, which is most of the kids in Blackrock College, which is not happening to, they have no idea that sort of stuff is going on. And I think people find it still very hard to understand that abuse went on while they were in Blackrock College, but because it didn't happen to them, because they have no understanding of it, they still can't get their head around it. I mean, I think it's one of the worst things to do to a human being is to violate them as a child, because there's something so sacred about your body and your and that area of your body, for God's sake, when you're a kid. Do you know what I mean? What?
Yeah, no.
So I'm just saying.
I think once I so agree with you, and it just wrecks your life.
Wrecks
forever.
your life, yeah. And
Forever.
also,
you never recover
and
from
then
that.
those 3 guys who came forward, or the 2 brothers who came forward. This is after 30 years. 30 years that they had the. So it just shows you the embarrassment and the shame and everything. So I assume there's lots of other boys.
Yeah.
Have you got that Polish music, Polish country and western music?
Oh yeah.
Go on, just play a bit of it.
There's like.
Just play something, Daniel, and then we'll drop it in.
Okay.
Play something, son.
But we're just jumping from subject
I
to
know we're
subject.
jumping from subject to subject because I'm getting distracted by the stuff.
I just wanted to say
I'm going to have my back to them because I'm looking at I'm looking at Julius. I'm looking at the 3 amigos there, and they're chatting away to each other, and the fucking cat as well. Well, obviously is desperate for attention. I have a narcissist cat.
But that's not country music. That's rock.
That's rock.
Oh right, okay.
What the hell? You can't tell the difference between rock and country and western music?
Well, I don't know. I just looked it online, and they said that song. I haven't listened to it. I haven't listened to it before.
Country and western, Polish country and western music. Jesus Christ.
Oh, maybe it's just they singing in country western in Polish.
Huh?
In Polish, so. But I'm sure there's.
Daniel, did you not look up Polish country and western music?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And that came up.
Yeah.
Jackson maybe should have a computer as well.
Or
because Daniel's doing a lot of stuff, pressing buttons, and Jack can look up stuff.
By the way, I'm going to have to, because I work at this, like, don't take it personally when I get angry with anyone, Okay,
Yeah.
you fucker. That's not country and western music.
Jack should have a computer.
Okay. Okay, that's whatever that is. No wonder you're.
Just name a tune and then in Polish.
Forget about it.
A
Like
country and western.
I feel it's just it's depressing me.
Well, I think there's other stuff much more depressing. And actually, looking what you're wearing, it looks like you've got a collar and you sort of priest-like.
Well, I remember.
Look at yourself.
I remember a priest. I wonder, can I name the priest because he did it? This is in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could have been 1983, and he brought me up to his office, and he says, "Right, I'm going to biff you," because that's what they did.
Biff you.
Biff you. They had a leather strap, guys. Are you listening to this, Daniel and Jack?
Yeah,
you should be enthralled by what I'm saying.
I'm just looking at the.
Okay.
Seeing how it all
so
works.
they had a leather strap, boys. I was strapped when I was a kid.
So did he hit you actually?
I was fucking strapped regularly. Why is that? Why
what does it mean, strap? I didn't.
Well, look a belt, and
yeah.
it's like this long, and they get whack.
On the
Whack,
hand,
yeah.
on the ass, on the back.
Well, up until this point, it had always been on the hand.
Okay.
So
you
this
didn't
guy,
just go like
and this guy.
You hold your hand.
If I can finish the shite story, this guy, some of those priests had a visceral hatred of me. I mean, they just couldn't. I could see it in his eyes. He fucking incandescently hated me, and he came in, and he had this right. Come on in there now. Right, you've been a bit of a blackguard. You've been a bit of a cod artist. You know what I mean? Right, bend over the thing. I'm going.
Did you?
Bend over the what? And I'm 17 or 18, but I'm a force of nature, and I'm going, excuse me, bend over the thing. Yeah, go on, bend over the table there. And he said, and he said, pull your pants down. Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, for fuck's sake.
And you're 17.
I'm 17 or 18, and I'm going, pull my pants down. But yeah, bend over. And I don't think I did pull my pants down. I'm sure I didn't. And I've said, I don't think I said to him, I don't think I'm not into that. I'll accept the old biff on the arse, which I'd never had a biff on the arse. But then he started whacking me on the arse. And I'm like, whoa, something like that. And then he said, right, get out! In other words, like, but.
So how many times did it
I
happen?
don't fucking know. But
So
I mean,
did you put your hand
what
out?
I'm saying is, there was a lot of creepy, repressed. There was a guy in Blackrock College. His name, when I was there, he looked after the audio video department, and his name, we called him Brother Sex. And you see, all that stuff would be whispered. Oh, your man, Brother Sex. He'd go around and record, guys playing rugby and in scrums, and he'd be wanking up in the audio video department.
Well, at least he won himself, not other kids. I mean, this is not that damaging as, an abusing a
at least
kid.
that's okay.
No, it's not okay. But I mean, at least he stayed away for some time before he probably get closer. I don't know.
It would have been only a problem if he shared it to others, isn't it?
No, but I just want to
But I
get
tell
to
you
that
something, no,
story.
if-
Did you put your hand out for being smacked or beefed, whatever?
Biffed.
Biffed.
Yeah. When we were kids, yeah.
How old were you?
What we do was, apparently...
But how old were you?
Oh, it started when I was about 7.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 7. And stopped only last week. But it's funny.
That's
I'll
why
tell you something
you're
though.
so much
If
into
my
S&M.
if and by the way, even if I was, no problem. But I'm not. But the point is, to even say that in front of Jack and Daniel, look, we're not communist in this country. You know what I mean? We have values.
I think everything is allowed as long as you're not hurting anyone else. Consent, I think, is the
Okay.
most important.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Can I just? You're just supposed to be my sidekick. I think Can you just? Okay. Can I just say?
And that's why we're not together.
How long actually have we been recording? Does anybody know?
25 minutes.
Feels longer. Okay. Now,
It's like forever.
yeah. Can I just?
I think we need to have a break for a commercial break.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do a commercial break. We're sponsored by Polski toilet papiers. If your poops. Oh yeah, yeah. Can I just say actually, on the subject of being biffed and what your man father did, like if Jack came back, like you know if that was and he said, what? Oh, you know the priest he got me to bend over the desk and asked me to pull down my pants and biff him. Like I as a father would go there, and you know there'd be no like, where's I'd find him. And you know, I just go, oh yeah, and I'd punch him in his face. I'd punch him in his face. You know what I mean? And I would happily go to court and do jail time. It's a very violating thing to do. It's like stealing power from young people.
Oh, it's terrible, terrible. I don't know if we should punish them. The same way that.
What, Jack? You're looking at me in a funny way. Are you just thinking, what are we talking about?
No, just
go on. Put on the mic, Jack.
I'm just listening. I'm just listening. That's all. You know.
He's learning.
Not learning. Not learning. No, I'm getting stupider. Actually, I'm de-learning.
I think even if you listen to something which is silly, you're still learning because you recognize that it's silly.
Okay.
And we all welcome some
like a mistake.
No, yeah, you learn from mistakes. So it's good to make mistakes.
Well, speaking of learning and mistakes, this is definitely, we're learning here. We're learning to stay on topic and on subject, and we're trying to articulate our thoughts and be as economical as possible and get to the point. And I think you personally, with respect to Hannah, sometimes when you tell a story,
I haven't told a story yet.
I know, but
so
sometimes
no one really knows
when
what
you tell
you're
a story.
about.
Well, when you tell a story, you assume that everybody knows the characters, and and you start sometimes in the middle and you don't set it up properly.
Okay, and I thought it was me because I'm Polish, but I noticed a lot of people do it.
Yeah,
and I noticed you do it as well sometimes. That's why.
What do you listen? Oh yeah, by the way. So this is the first episode of our podcast. Everybody's doing podcasts. Do you listen to podcasts?
I do listen to podcasts, but not fluffy podcasts.
What do you listen to?
But podcasts where I can learn something.
Oh yeah. I listen to Joe Rogan and I listen to Tiger Belly with Bobby Lee and Kalila. I really like Tiger Belly.
Yeah, I prefer all those podcasts when, people interview.
Sorry.
People interview interesting people.
Yes.
But that's more like interview.
What about you guys? What podcasts do you listen to, Daniel, Jack?
Do you listen to a podcast, Daniel? I listen to the Michael Bisping podcast.
Oh yeah.
That's what I listen to. Yeah.
Michael Bisping, yeah.
Why? Can you tell us why?
Because it's just simple. He's not trying to talk about some mad stuff. It's just about UFC, and they just have lighthearted fun. I'm bored of the whole Joe Rogan. I like Joe Rogan, but I just want something simple, just that I can watch while I cook or something.
But I just sort of agree. Joe Rogan laughs stupidly. It seems like a forced laugh. He goes, ha ha ha. No, not like this.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He laughs a lot, but it's not natural
I remember when I first started listening to Joe Rogan, what I was quite surprised about was he doesn't look intelligent. He looks like a thug.
But he's a comedian.
He looks like a wrestler. You know what I mean? But he's very good at articulating his thoughts.
Well, he's been doing that for 30 years.
What? No, he hasn't been doing a podcast for 30 years.
No, but he's a comedian as well.
But I have to say, right, this is my dream. This is what I've always wanted to do. When I was very young, I used to love watching, now you kids wouldn't know a guy called Michael Parkinson, but he was the big interviewer at the time.
I know.
You know Michael Parkinson? And I remember, I think when I was a kid, I got So Michael Parkinson famously interviewed like Muhammad Ali and Richard Burton and all these types of people, big celebrities back in the day in the 70s. But I loved watching those interviews, and I got a tape recorder when I was very young, and with my mate, like when I was 7 or 8, with my mate Niall Sheridan, right?
Where's your mate now?
Well, I think he works in RTE. He does continuity, but he changed his name to an Irish name. Like when I knew him, he was Niall Sheridan, and then he transitioned to Neil O'Sheridan. Oh God, I'm afraid to say. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I learned something in Irish. I hope I say it correct. Poke me hung.
Yeah, kiss me arse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it?
Just now.
Just now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you find that Polish country and western music, Jack?
No, they just give up.
Why did
Give
they?
me 2 minutes, I'll find it.
Or you can say country and western in Polish. So they sing in Polish versions in English version.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I got a tape recorder when I was 7 or 8, one of those cassette tape recorders, and I used to interview my friend and pretend to be interviewing. So it's something that I've wanted to do all my life. But like the problem is, I tried to do a podcast before, and in fact, I interviewed Bob Geldof. I interviewed I can't remember who else I interviewed. Oh Christ! But the problem is, I as I was interviewing people, I would disengage and I'd get bored, and I'd listen back to podcasts, and I'd hear the person talking was saying something more interesting than what I would interrupt with, and I was frightened by the fact that how bad of an interviewer I was. So I think the important thing about doing a podcast or being an interviewer is just the ability, number one, to listen, number two, to stay on topic, and number three, in the absence of being funny, at least be fucking interesting. So it is a bit of a struggle. But again, this is our first podcast. We're not going to hit the ground running. What did you say about Daniel?
I just said that Daniel has sexy voice, and I didn't know. I didn't see anything wrong with it.
That's weird.
That's
weird.
But
Can I just comment on the fact that Ruby would never stay on the table this long, but obviously she likes
and she likes to lick herself shamelessly. Look at her.
Well, listen, if you were that flexible, you'd be at it too. says I to Hannah, says she to me. If you had the flexibility of cat, you'd be at home licking your hole all fucking day.
I'm almost that flexible, and I don't do it.
Oh God.
What?
Look. It's mad, isn't it? Anyway, yes. Don't be saying your son has a sexy voice. You're very confused. You know what I mean? There's borders. We're in Ireland. We don't. That might be acceptable in Poland.
I'm not sure if it's acceptable in Poland, but I don't know. It's universal. It's a compliment.
So I think the point for me. The point of this. Well, I was going to say, what's the point of this podcast? I like the fact that we're going to commit ourselves to a year, and me, you, Jack, Daniel, they're going to be working the technical side of things. Julius Klopping hopefully will be coming in from time to time. I have to say, I really like Julius. I like his vibe. He gives a shit. He cares. He has passion.
Passion.
He has passion for. He's got all the equipment. He's got this amazing camera. I think he's going to be a director. Well, first of all, he has a director's name.
Klopping.
Julius Klopping. It's a fucking great.
Everybody is going to remember that. Yeah.
And nominations for Best Director, Julius Klopping for Jaws. Whatever.
Sounds good.
Favorite film, by the way, Julius Klopping.
Inglourious Bastards.
Oh.
Not surprising.
You could be in them, actually.
One day. Inglourious Bastards 2.
And who would he be in Inglourious Bastards?
It's a sidekick of Brad Pitt.
Okay. So, yes, I love the idea that we as a family are doing something and working together. This is very exciting to me. Obviously, this is raw. This is very raw at the moment. Where I'm trying to figure this out. You're trying to figure this out. And you know, we will be talking because you're very. Is it fair to say? Is it fair to say that you're into your conspiracies, Hannah?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, I think we can.
Yeah, you can call it, but they are not conspiracies.
Okay, and I think we can also say that during the COVID, you weren't buying any. It's okay, I think, now to talk about it.
Yeah,
You weren't
it's okay.
into it.
No,
Yeah.
I wasn't into it. I wasn't buying it, and
Yeah.
I'm still not buying it.
And you believe
And
that.
I actually saved few people from getting boosters.
Who are you looking to now?
I don't know. I was
Does
just
Hannah have her
seeing-
camera? Is that Hannah's camera over there?
You see, I know where to
Yeah.
look.
Because you never stopped going on about it. I have to say.
Well, I think that we have to be aware of our rights and protect our democracy. So that's the most important thing for us, and not.
Like I didn't. You know, the whole vaccine thing. I didn't. I just didn't care.
Yeah, but I was the one who didn't get it, and I'm so proud of it.
Yeah.
And you were the first one who went for
And
it.
that's
Why we're not together.
No, but can I just say, before people start losing the will to live and us talking about vaccines, I think, listen, whether this first episode, to me, it's not important whether it's good or bad. The fact is that we're doing it. And I'm so thrilled that our two boys, Jack and Daniel, are involved in this.
Yes.
Daniel, would you like to say something?
I'm very grateful for this opportunity.
Oh, it breaks my heart.
Okay, go on, Jack.
Yeah.
Can I just say, Daniel, why are you wearing a baseball cap? It's what are you? What is this?
I like it. I like it, and I think you have to step away.
And Jack, Jack, you're looking at me like Jack gave me.
Why did you look like an even gayer Oscar Wilde?
David, I think like I love when men comment on other people's clothes, and I'm just always thinking, have you looked in the mirror recently? You know, like men commenting,
can I just say,
you wear too much makeup, wear this, or have high heel shoes, and I'm just like, who the fuck you think you are?
Oh, when men comment on women. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Anybody else.
No, but it's very interesting. No,
Daniel looks actually smart. And you telling him, why the hell you wear a baseball hat? Because I want it? Because I have a right?
It's so interesting you say that, because when I see older guys, i.e. me, looking at younger women, like if I'm walking down the street and I see an older guy, you know, just really obviously checking it, and I'm like that, I look at that. But that is me. You know what I mean? Like, it's certainly on stage, I'm performing, and young girls would be on the front. When I say young girls, in their 30s,
They're young.
But they'd be, gorgeous young ones, and I'd be looking at them, and I'd be thinking, "Geez, look at their gorgeous tight skin, and they've lost no elasticity in their face. They just look amazing.
There's no sagging.
There's no sagging, whatever you're looking at, and you're appreciating how beautiful they are. Now, if I was objectively to look at myself from a distance, looking at me, looking at them, and I'd be going, "Look at that fucking old guy." But because, I don't realize how, gross or unattractive I am to the younger women I'd be admiring. Thank God, because then you'd never look at anyone. You just hide.
What was the thing you said when you go into the room? What reaction do you get from women when you enter the room?
Oh, that idea where.
No, that was your joke. It was funny.
Oh yeah.
When you enter the room.
Because I noticed when Des Bishop is a very attractive model type of looking guy, and I actually, the way women are always going on about how men are just like a bit pathetic when they're around a beautiful girl, But I've seen Des Bishop walk into a room and women just swinging out of the, they're like, competing. But when he walks into a room, but when I walk into a room, women kind of go, like that.
Yeah,
that was the joke that
can I
didn't fucking work very well.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks.
you just didn't deliver it properly. I
Well, I
guess.
mean, you know what I mean.
But may I say something? That in Ireland, good-looking man is a rare occasion. That's why.
Well, wait a second. Your two sons are half Irish.
Yeah, yeah, but they have Irish. You know,
So what part of?
Irish,
So you saying
Irish,
half of them?
Irish
isn't-
people should be so thankful to foreigners to bring
Oh, right.
different blood,
To bring-
and
to
different DNA.
Into the gene pool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
Because in
it would
Ireland-
be a disaster.
Yeah. In
It
Ireland.
was.
Yeah.
It was a disaster.
In Ireland, I would be considered, attractive. But once I go abroad, I'm very ugly.
Yes.
Thank you. So what? Yeah, but if I'm so ugly, why did you marry me?
Oh yeah, but love is blind. I was married.
And that's why we're not okay, lady. Thank you very much, Julius, Daniel, Jack, Hannah,
Thank you.
and yes. Well, that's it. That's the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
The end of the episode. Episode 1.
Is it? Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.